Hey, this is Tyler Swett. I'm the Accessible Media Specialist at the Iowa Library for the Blind and Print Disabled. Today I'm going to be going over some apps, some mobile apps that I have found to be beneficial for blind students, low vision students. And so this is some of the research that I've done, as well as talking to some of the staff here and just kind of figuring out just a few apps that are free that can benefit students in every day. And I think, it's important that there's just so many apps out there that it's really important to kind of understand that not all of them are going to work for your student. And so it's just kind of figuring out what their needs are and how you can best meet them. That'll really help you narrow down what's going to help them the best. So I have 4 apps today. We're going to jump in. I got my trusty phone here, and I also have some videos of each of these. So the first one we're going to look at is TapTapC. And so I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to pause and go through, as I go through these. The first one's TapTapC. Now, with TapTapC, got to have voiceover on.
Okay, voiceover is now on.
Listen button.
So we're going to skip ahead here.
Tap C. Wooden table.
So TapTapC is a pretty basic app. When you get into it, there is it's just the camera function, and then you kind of move the camera to what you want to see what it is. And so then it's, like it says TapTapC, you're going to tap to take a picture of the item, and then it's going to read the description of it.
Repeat, dimmed, button. Repeat, dimmed. Repeat, camera button, camera button. Picture 1 in progress.
So if you take a picture, it says picture 1 in progress. And so what that's doing is it's looking at it and deciding what it is. So let's see how close you can get with this one.
Picture 1 is purple and silver tumbler on brown wooden table.
All right, so it actually got pretty good. So purple and silver tumbler. So, that's what it is. It's my coffee cup, but that's pretty solid for saying it's a tumbler. So now I'm going to give you an example where it kind of.
Camera button. Picture 2 in progress.
Okay, so this is just a book that was on my desk, Universal Design for Learning. Just wanted to see if it can read the title, if it knows what it's a book, or thinks it's a sheet of paper, just kind of what it is.
Progress. Picture 2 is person holding a white and yellow book.
Yeah, so it's not the most specific thing. So that's something to realize, is that it'll look at it, and then it'll, like white and yellow book. There's some yellow on it, but it just says that it's a book and the person's holding it. So this one's just good for like quick and easy, like identify what this is. So that's the one that, that people in the orientation center staff use a lot, especially in like cooking, for example. If let's say a Braille label fell off your garlic salt and you grabbed one and you didn't know what it was, you can take a picture of it and figure out what it is. So that is, that's the kind of the easy, I think is a really easy one to use, which is the pro of it. Just a con would be that it's just not quite as specific sometimes as you want it, just because, like the book example, or the tumbler, it's specific enough, but not quite for really, like if you're really looking for something that could be a little bit more. So that is TapTapC. So the next one we're going to take a look at is Audio Game Hub. So this one is pretty fun. I like this.
Please turn the accessibility mode off.
So this one, if you have voiceover on or another screen reader, you're going to turn it off to play these games. So I think that's something to realize, is that as we go from there. And I'm actually going to go new share, and we're just going to do the screen. So like I said, yeah, Audio Game Hub, so you want to make sure voiceover's off.
Use headphones for best sound experience. Welcome to the Audio Game Hub. Giftbox 1. Congratulations.
So this one has a lot of different games on it. It has a lot of tutorials that it can kind of walk you through for each game. And some of them, they get a little like, you got to play it a couple times before you can get it. But what's good with the games that they have on here is that they're teaching more skills than just the game. Because, they are audio games, but just things like double tapping, learning a screen reader, and other things, games like this just really kind of keep those skills active in a different format.
Play games. High school. Play games. Games.
So here are the games, a couple different ones that are on here. You know, the one I'm going to show you
Menu.
guys
Page.
is archery.
Bomb disarm. Archery. Archery game menu.
So they all have tutorials built in. They all have high scores so the kid can keep track and sort of achievements that go along with it. So the object of this one is when you hold down on the screen, crosshair is going to move back and forth, and the noise is going to change when it gets closer to the bullseye. So then you're going to let your finger off of the screen when you think it's in the middle. So I'll kind of show you. I played around.
This time you need 15 points.
The background noise kind of helps mess with the kid. You can hear that noise.
Perfect shot, 10 points.
So that's kind of the idea of the game, is that noise kind of changes. And they have a lot of other games too. So like the hunt one is the same idea, except it moves around the whole screen. And then so like what was the other, let me go back to so then like you look at the games, and then you like Super Simon is like, you know, Simon with the 4 buttons, and you have to memorize the pattern. So then you're tapping in certain areas. So Animal Escape, that one is kind of like Frogger, and you're using a lot of noise to hear when cars are coming to then move the animal forward on the street. So that's why I think it's just a really solid game for just quick little easy audio games, because there's not a whole lot out there as far as audio based games. So that's why I really like Audio Game Hub. It's just kind of a fun one. And you know, using some sort of screen reader or just the skills to go along with listening can never be a bad thing. So that's why, you know, that's one that I really enjoy to tell people about. And so we did Tap Tap See, did audio, or the Audio Game Hub. So now we're going to go back here, and I want to look at Blind Bargains. I'm saving the other one for last. So Blind Bargains is an interesting app, and it's a little different than some of the other ones that we've covered. And so if you look at this one, when it opens up, it's in news. And so what this app does is it pulls things from other places on the internet that this company feels is talking about accessibility, talking about new technology, talking about just other things going on in the world of accessibility, in the world of blind technology, accessible technology. So if you can see here, like the ones that it pulled, survey from Microsoft accessibility team seeks to understand the voices, talks about app releases for certain apps. This one is about the presidential inaugural events with descriptive audio. So it kind of pulled down on where you can find those things. It even has reviews. So Blue Apron. So you don't know what Blue Apron is. It's like the meal service that they send you. So there's an accessibility review about that. So it's just kind of a great kind of just to stay in touch with what's going on with accessibility and just what's going on with a lot of the things with those types of things. And also, you know, even like American Council for the Blind Convention going virtual. So it's talking about that. So it does pull from a lot of different places, and it does a really good job of keeping touch with what's going on. And so that's why I think it's a really beneficial app from that standpoint. The other features on here, which are pretty sweet, are bargains is the next one. And so when we look at bargains, what that is, it's just different things that are on sale. So you have smart recording headset. So it's just different sales and coupons and like their holiday shopping list, you know, different items that are on sale, just little ad, you know, and so that one's just kind of nice to have, just to kind of check out, especially if you're in the market for buying something. And then the next one I think is really beneficial as well, especially for a student, is classifieds. And so this is people selling a lot of refreshable Braille devices I've seen on here, as well as just kind of what, you know, like those magnifiers, even just like a Play 3 and Sonos amp, Braille note. So it kind of just, it's just a, you know, think of it like a Craigslist for refreshable Braille devices amongst other things. And so it's just really benefit to kind of pull it all into one app so you don't have to go searching for them. And that's really the biggest pro of this app, is that you're taking things from around the internet and just kind of combining them into one specific area for you to check out. So that's what I think is the biggest benefit of that, is that you can just kind of go here and look at, and go through the app. It's fully accessible with the screen reader. So it, it works well with VoiceOver, but it just kind of really pulls everything together and makes it a little more succinct. So that's what I really like about that. They also have audio. So they have their own podcast that they do, and I think it's about once a month that they kind of do, I think. Yeah, so let's skip ahead here. Yeah, so so the Blind Bargains the QAST cast. So it looks like they do it like once a month among some other things that they kind of throw in there. Looks like they do a couple here and there, but it's just kind of talking about some different things that are going on. There's interviews and a lot of other things like that. So it is a really just all around just a good app as far as just having a lot of different features on it that can really help, figure it out and benefit from that. So that one is a great one. And my favorite, and last but not least, would be Seeing AI. So if you've never used Seeing AI, you've never played around with it, this app, I think, is the biggest benefit for any student that is blind or visually impaired. They could really use this just for everyday stuff. So there's a lot of different features, and this is a free app. It's built by Microsoft. So the first option is short text. So short text is where you're going to put something in front of it, and it's going to read the short text really quick. So this would be like looking at like a note card with something printed on it, textbook. What book is this in front of me? Like that kind of stuff. So I'm going to show you what I did here.
Universal, designed for learning theory and PR.
Yeah, so theory and PR. So like I said, not everything's perfect with these apps, but they, and that's kind of changing that distance. It gets it to work. But I think I did one more thing. I can't remember. No, I didn't.
Document.
Okay, so the next is document. And when we look at document, this is where you're going to take a picture of a whole sheet of paper, and it's going to analyze it, and it's going to put that text into the screen. So this is really a really great version of it, as far as you get something in the mail, don't know what it is, take a picture of it, boom, it's going to give you all that text and all that information on what it is and what it's about. So I think this one is really handy and it works really well. So I just opened
top and right edge is not visible. Hold steady. Processing.
So in a matter of seconds, you can look at it and it's going to put it up on there. And it really actually does a fantastic job of doing this. So you kind of see, I'll kind of scroll through it a little bit, but yeah. And so then your screen reader could read it and it just would kind of roll through all of that. So, it's really good at picking up text. And I think, for something like getting a letter home or really want to kind of, those types of things for students to know what they're doing, I think is really important. So the next thing's product. This is just a UPC scanner. This one, you just scan the UPC and it tells you what it is. So I just grabbed the book.
Processing.
I didn't have a soda can in front of me. So.
Universal design for learning, theory and practice.
Yep. So there you go. Boom. UPC done. Knows what the book is. Found it really fast.
Person.
So person is the next one. Now this one is a really interesting one. So it picks up on faces and tells you where they are in the room. And then if you take their picture, it'll tell you the expression they have on their face.
One face near center, 2 feet away. Currency.
So you can't take the picture and then it'll kind of tell you what's going on. But yeah, one face, I'm going to play that one more time so you can kind of hear it again.
Person. One face near center, 2 feet away.
Yep, so one face near center, 2 feet away. So it just kind of tells you who's in the room if you really want to use it like that. But yeah, so that one's a kind of a fun one. Next one's currency, and I don't carry cash on me ever. So this one, I can't attest that it does work, but all you have to do is you just put the bill in front of it like you do with the other ones, and it'll tell you which bill it is. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, for the life of me, the other day when I was filming this, and still to this day, don't ever have cash on me. So it's a rare day.
Scene preview.
So scene is just kind of taking a picture of your surroundings. and then it's going to tell you what's in the scene. So I just rolled back and took a picture of my desk.
Processing. Probably a laptop on a desk.
So it'll say things like probably, because it's just, once again, it's just kind of taking what's in there and what's in the database and guessing on what it is. So that's why it's going to be really non-specific and say the word probably in case that isn't what the picture is. So it's probably a laptop on a desk. Well, they're right. So, you know, it's not overly specific, but it definitely, you know, it tells you what it is. So
Color.
so color is the next one. And so this one, you just kind of move the camera around and it tells you what color you're on. Again, you know, you really got to make sure you hold it in a certain spot or it's going to pick up on some other colors. You got to get closer to the object or further away to tell you.
Preview. Gray. Gray and brown. White. Gray. White and gray. Handwriting.
So next, this one is the coolest. I've said a lot of these are pretty cool. This one is amazing. This is handwriting. So literally, if you write something, you take a picture of it, it'll tell you what the text is. And this is something, so I have terrible handwriting, which you'll see in a second.
Preview.
And it picked up on it perfectly. So
Processing. Hello.
and so even like my crummy E there, and I just kind of scribbled it really quick, and the O is hardly connected, and there's a little dash above the H, like it picked up on it. So that one's really a huge benefit for students. You know, if the teacher writes a note on something, you know, they can see what the teacher wrote and those types of things. I think that are really beneficial. And even if, you know, the handwriting's so bad that the kid can't read it, maybe the app can pick it up and see what it is. And so that's, you know, one thing that's I think is really cool with this app is that and then it also gives you the text readout at the bottom. So yeah, so handwriting one is amazing. And then the last one is light. So this one is a little bit loud. So what it does is it changes the tone of the noise coming from the phone based on how bright or how dark it is. So the brighter it is, the higher pitch it gets, and then the lower it is, the lower, you know, the darker it is, the lower the tone gets. So I'll kind of show. So you can make music with your light if you want, but you know, that one's just a different version. You know, it's just kind of a cool version of it. Like, you can tell if the light was on in a room, and you kind of move around with it. But this app is, I think, one of the most amazing apps that exists for the blind and visually impaired, because I think it just, if you look at it, it's a free app that has 1,000 different features on it. That can really just have a lot of different uses for it. I think that's just a big win on that in that regard. That it's a free app that has so many uses that any student can benefit from. So yeah, so that's the 4 that I have. Do we have any questions in the chat? I don't see any right now. There's a couple paid ones I'll talk about quick. Let me pull it up here. So Voice Dream Scanner, and I need to pull that up. So Voice Dream Scanner is one that Enrique recommended to me to kind of to talk about a little bit. So that one's $6, but he says he uses that one constantly. And so that app, I'll go ahead and share my screen here. We're gonna go here. And then we're gonna go here. So this one is just it's more of just a higher end scanning device, and so it's, you know, it's taking some of the things like that you saw in the Seeing AI and just making it more advanced. So this would be more for if you're using it a lot as far as getting things. You know, there's a lot of reviews on here. So the Voice Dream Scanner app. Voice Dream has their own app as well. I can't remember the price of it, but it's all just text recognition and just kind of picking up on things. So this one's just kind of like the paid version of seeing AI with a little just more features. It's a little more bells and whistles on it. So that would be one thing that I would recommend checking out. There's a lot of different voices and just different customization that you can have, which is the other ones don't. So that's just the big one that I kind of wanted to spotlight without diving in too deep about it. All right. So I will post this video up on YouTube. I'm going to edit it and throw the videos in and just kind of talk a little bit more about that. So if you are watching this on YouTube later, feel free to put your favorite app in the description or in the comments below and kind of talk about it there. But yeah, but those are the 4 apps I kind of wanted to showcase today and really show off. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys next month.